Hey folks, this is Soul with an add-on video, where I try out new and lesser known add-ons so you don't have to. It's been a while since I've done an add-on feature video, and I hope this one's worth the wait. Add-ons here have been tested on the latest PTR build and will hopefully work in the live patch. You can support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me live wherever I'm streaming. Let's get right to it, starting with Krowi's Achievement Filter. This add-on creates separate tabs in the achievement UI into these convenient buckets, like sorting achievements by expansion or certain events like the Shadowlands Covenant Assault. It even shows a convenient set of timers as to what's next, which reveals to me how sometimes I guess we need to choose between things to do. Anyway, the main reason why I'm spotlighting this add-on started the way most of us look for add-ons, we're just trying to look for a certain fix. In my case, I wanted to track the big meta achievements in a more convenient way, and this nailed it. Under the Specials tab, select Khamul's meta achievement list and we get a full breakdown of each meta on the expandable tree, making it way easier to see what we need to do. With 1107 adding metas for both the War Within Season 1 and all of Battle for Azeroth, this add-on is a must-have for easy tracking and visibility. RPGLootFeed is a way of displaying stuff you've looted that has a little bit more of that modern RPG feel. Instead of the chat window down in the lower left corner, displayed gains are shown on a nearby transparent frame. You can filter things out, like if you don't care to see low quality items or gold or crafted goods and so on. The one thing I didn't see here was a way for me to click on an item and display a pop-up tooltip separately, just like how I can from the chat log. Also want to point out that just like the chat log, if my mouse cursor happens to be hovering over an item, I can't click through it, meaning there's a chance I might want to move the camera, but I can't because this loot got in the way. So you just want to be careful where you display this feed. Hyperframe Plus is a very intense add-on that edits many of the variables that can affect the game's performance. It's very under the hood, and I suggest reading up before making any advanced changes. Thankfully, the add-on comes with lots of presets and tooltips to explain what each variable does. The main draw comes from how you can customize your settings depending on your situation, where on the default UI there are only two settings, there's Raids and Battlegrounds, and there's not Raids and Battlegrounds. So maybe you want super fidelity and view distance while flying around outdoors, so you set the world preset to custom, and then you go down and crank everything to the max. But maybe in the city you don't need that same look. Or maybe in small raids you can perform well, but in larger raids you have performance hits, so you have a custom thing to tweak the settings down. There are probably overlaps, but it is cool that you can fine-tune settings for more situations. Warband Bank Log, or Bank Log, I'll give you 10 guesses as to what it does. This add-on adds a minimap button to show you a simple record of what you've been doing in your warbank for those, just in case mishaps, and you need to find out where something went. A simple but effective search bar lets you find things based on name or item, partial matches work fine too, and you just need to type in gold to search for a gold movement. Annoying pop-up remover should be renamed confirmation remover because it's either very convenient or very dangerous depending on what you choose. This add-on lets you disable individual confirmations like deleting blues and purples, that's an easy one we're used to. You can also disable confirmation when buying items with currencies like bronze tokens, or setting up your Hearthstone, or abandoning quests, even equipping BOEs. Now thankfully that pop-up still appears by default, and I don't really recommend checking the option to disable it, but hey, with this, you can blame the add-on and say, hey, that's why I'm keeping this gear. Myslot is for those of us who are pretty regular with alts. It lets you export your ability placements, your bindings, and macros to other characters. So if you have multiples of the same class, you can already copy their UI and talent choices, yeah, but now you can take it a step further. If there's a bunch of character-specific macros you want to move over, you can decide what gets moved and what does not. What's also cool is you can save versions of these settings in case you want to go back or you want to save a backup, although I would suggest exporting these settings somewhere outside of this add-on in case things go haywire. Monar's Wardrobe Helper is a light version of the All the Things add-on. It focuses on transmog appearances in raids and dungeons and gives a simple breakdown of what you're missing and where does it come from. Like All the Things, it also offers a mini list displaying missing items depending on the instance you're in. For the longest time, I've been using Trade Skill Master for four things: the mass selling of items on the auction house, the checking of prices of goods at a glance via tooltip, auto-mailing items to preset characters, and tracking items across alts. Now, these days I don't sell the way I used to, and I've been finding this add-on to just be like a bit too intense on the load times, not to mention the almost daily errors I run into. So while I thank Tradeskill Master for its service over the years, I'm looking at a few add-ons that, when put together, they're more lightweight and focused on things I actually do these days. Oribos Exchange displays the price of goods on a tooltip. There's one price for your realm, another price for the region. Prices only update every few days, but if you're just looking for a ballpark price, this add-on will work fine right out the box. Auctionator's old, but it's one of the best add-ons out there. I tend to sell as I go these days, so it's cool that all the sellable items show up on the left-hand side, so I can more easily access what it is I'm trying to sell. As a fan of the sorted add-on, it'd be way cool if I saw this in a list form, so I don't even have to mouse over items anymore to read what I'm looking at, but otherwise I have no complaints. Auctionator has a lot of other options to facilitate buying and selling, but for now I'm just going to sell this to you folks as a strong upgrade to the default UI. CG Automailer isn't exactly what I'm looking for in an Automailer kind of add-on, where I want to pre-assign certain items to certain characters. This add-on is very simple, as in it sends any and all items that aren't soulbound to a single character. You just hit Mail All Items to add everything into the mailbox and send. Of course, you can configure who the recipient is in the settings menu, and also, thankfully, add exclusion lists. So in practice, this is good for like transmog runs where maybe your alts are looting everything, and then when you can, just mail all this stuff to a mule character, and then sort it all out later. I mostly farm on my main, so I just clean up my bags and I add items to the exclusion list, then I can have at it. Again, it's not the one-click solution I was hoping for, but if I do find an add-on that works in the patch, I'll be sure to feature it. Finally, Alt Vault is what I'll be using to track how many of what item is where. Lots of add-ons do this, even my bag add-on of choice Sorted tracks it, but not everyone uses Sorted, and I found Alt Vault to be fairly lightweight. It also tracks my alt's other activities with a UI, which I find to be very charming without being too overwhelming. Think Altaholic, but on a smaller scale. It even shows my total time played right here on screen, which is, oh man. Hey, how about we compare score in the comments? Yeah? Try to make me feel a little bit better. Anyway, I use it for the simple mouse over, so I just know where stuff is. I just log on to all my characters once to start tracking it, and then we're golden. That makes up the list, and while there are a bunch of add-ons I personally use as well, I wanted to feature some newer stuff for a change. If you happen to know of any lesser known or newer add-ons that you think deserve a bump, let me know in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.